Hello guys, welcome to Edit3D. Today in this video I'll show you how you can make a globe in Blender. So it will be an awesome video, so watch this video till end. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can just go and subscribe to my channel for more awesome 3D contents like this. So let's get started. So I have opened Blender and I'm gonna delete the default cube and the camera and light too. Then I'm gonna hit Shift A and add an image, and it will be images plane. So if you haven't added that add-on, you have to add that add-on because it's a pretty good add-on. So add that add-on and add your image. So I have taken an image of Earth. It's a black and white image. Now add a subdivision surface modifier and crank the value up to 6 and change it to symbol. Now add a symbol deform modifier and change it to bend from twist, and go to axis and change it to Z, and the angle will be 180 degree. So add a empty and make that empty as origin of axis and rotate it on the x-axis 90 degree, and you will get something like this. And then duplicate the symbol deform modifier and you will get like this. Now change it to x-axis. Now change it to x-axis and it will be a 360 degree turn. Now you will get something like a sphere. Yeah, you got a sphere. Now go to material property and scroll down and go to settings. After that you have to off show backspace. If you off that, it will be great, or else there will be an artifact, you can see that, and off show backspace and that will be solved. So that's easy. Off backspace. So now there is one more artifact. For that go to shader editor by splitting the window, or go to shader editor and just take the image texture and just change it to repeat from clip. Now that artifact is also gone. So apply all the modifiers and set the origin to geometry by right clicking and setting geometry and rotate it to Y. Okay, now it looks like an earth but full black and white. Now add a subdivision. So now I'm gonna change the render engine to cycle. If you have a GPU, enable GPU too. I have a GPU, so I'm changing it from CPU to GPU. Now go to the shader editor and remove base color and just give that a black color if you need. So I have given a black color. Now I'm gonna add a mix shader and gonna connect that principal BSDF to the mix shader and connecting that mix shader to surface. So now I'm connecting that image texture to the fact of mix shader, and you can see the image is really crap. And now I'm gonna add a color ramp for correcting that and dropping it in the image texture to the fact line. Okay, now just changing the color ramp to constant and making the white value more, and you can see that looks pretty good right now, better than the old one. And I think this looks pretty good. I think it's enough. Now you can see the old one and the new one, and there are a lot of difference. So after that you have to duplicate the principal BSDF and connect the second principal BSDF to the mix shader. And you can see a black sphere. Don't need black, so make it white color. Okay, that looks pretty good. Edit mode and select all the faces by hitting A and right click on your mouse and make it triangulate face, or hit Alt T to make triangulate face. Now you can see all the faces are triangulated. Now you can change the triangulation. So I think this triangulation looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add a modifier that will be a wireframe modifier, and it looks boring. Now first of all, decrease the thickness, make a little bit thickness only, like 0.007 or less than that, and I think this looks pretty good. Now off even to remove that artifact. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just tweaking the thickness too. I'm just increasing the thickness a little bit. I think this looks pretty okay. I think this looks pretty good, and changing a little bit of the color ramp to get a good idea. And I think this looks good right now, and make sure that every country in it. Now just give the globe a gold color. If you need, you can give any color that you want, but I'm just gonna make it a golden globe, so giving it a gold color. Padded black. Now cycle, it looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna add an HDRI. So I have added an HDRI right now. Now I'm just going to fill him and making it transparent. So that looks good. Now let's model a stand. For that, add a circle, extrude it up and make it as a cylinder. That looks pretty good. Now add a subdivision surface modifier and crank the value. Go to edit mode and hit Shift E and add crease. So now that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna add subdivision. Now I'm gonna add a loop cut and moving it down and selecting that faces. So I have selected that faces. Now I'm hitting Alt E and extruding along normal. Now I'm just adding a little bit of crease to just made it shade smooth and also auto smooth. Now just tweaking the crease a little bit. I think this crease looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna insert another face, so hitting I and inserting another face. Now extruding it. Now just it's the same method for making a stand. I'm just making it a time lapse because it's the same method. So enjoy the time lapse. So guys, I have added a little bit of crease and one loop cut, that's it, and nothing else. You can see, and it's a stand. Now there is a loop cut and the top part is creased. Now select the top part and extrude it a little bit and extrude it one more time and select the faces and Alt T and extrude along the normal and just tweak the crease a little bit. Like there should be some bevel, not the sharpest thing in the world. So you can add a little bit of bevel too. You don't need that part sharp. So I think this looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna go to the top part and insert a face. After that, I'm just gonna scale that face in X-axis and also scaling it in the Y-axis too. Now you can see there is something like a oval shape. So hit Shift D and duplicate it and hit Escape and rotate it 90 degree on the Z-axis. Now extrude both of that faces and you got something like a stand that holds the circle. Yeah, you got that. Now just scale it. Now just scale it as that gets inside of the circle. So I just made that semicircle for just reference. I will show you how I made it. So the base stand is completed. Now let's make the circle. The circle that I made first was using a curve. Now this time I'm just going to add a circle and making it using a circle. So adding a circle and rotating it on the Y-axis 90 degree and scaling that circle a little bit that it fits the globe. Like, yeah, this part looks a little bit good. Now just scaling it a little bit more and moving it a little bit on the Z-axis. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now hiding the old one and also hiding the Bezier curve. After that, I'm just gonna go to edit mode and extrude it a little bit, and you can see there is something like this. And now the thing that you have to do is delete some faces. Now hit Shift plus Z in your keyboard and just select some faces and just delete that faces. Now that's enough, and just go and add a solidify modifier and just make it a little bit of thick. Rotate it a little bit and correct it however you want your globe to be. So I'm just gonna move it and level it a little bit. I'm just gonna delete 2 more faces. I'm just moving that a little bit to get that correct. Now just selecting globe and that circle and moving it to the down stand, and I think that looks good. Should be aligned properly in the base stand, so moving that base stand and the circle a little bit and making it align. So I think this looks pretty good. If I had a subdivision surface modifier, it will look more good. First of all, the subdivision should go to the top part of the solidify modifier, and I think this looks pretty good. Now just giving that a gold material. Now I'm gonna make the top part. For that I have added a circle itself and just doing the same procedure, extruding it, inserting face, and again is extruding and adding a subdivision surface modifier. That's it. You can also make it as you wish. That's easy. It's just like a holder for that globe, a cap, something like that. Now just adding a subdivision and also selecting some faces and adding crease in them, making that faces look really good. After that I am just positioning it correctly on the globe so that it looks good. So I'm just gonna add the same material that I have added for the base stand and the semicircle. So I'm just duplicating it and just aligning it in the down and just properly fitting it in the down part too, and just tweaking the material a little bit, like increasing the metallic. It should be like metal globe, and so for that I'm just going to the shader editor and increasing the metallic of that globe. And after that you are done, you have made your globe, and just render it and obviously share it with your friends, blah blah blah, share it with anyone. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and the finished file will be available in my Patreon account, also in my CG Trader. If you don't want to be a Patreon, you can just go and purchase it from CG Trader. If you want to be a Patreon, you can be a Patreon and get access to all my 3D models for a month. And yeah, you can get all my 3D models that I made in videos. So link will be in the description. Also, you can support me on my blog. I have a blog too, in which I upload 3D model news and things like that. So you can also support me on my blog. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more some contents like this, and hit the notification bell to notify you when I upload a new video. So meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.